When I first arrived at Emerald Haven Women's College, I had only one plan: study hard and make my mother proud. She sold her handmade baskets in the market to send me there. Before I left, she held my shoulders and said, "Never lose yourself." I came with one faded travel bag, 2 long skirts, worn sandals, and a dream. No makeup kit, no shining smartphone, just hope. The first weeks I stayed disciplined. I arrived early to lectures, sat in the front row, filled notebooks with careful handwriting. Every night, I whispered prayers into the dark ceiling, asking heaven for strength. But hunger has a way of shaking your faith. My soap finished. My sanitary supplies ran out. I couldn't afford printed notes. I drank plain cassava flakes soaked in water, while other girls ate spicy rice with fried meat. I wore plastic slippers while they stepped around campus in polished heels and styled hairpieces. Then kindness arrived. A bowl of rice, a chilled soda. I said thank you. I didn't know that was how it begins. Soon I noticed the girls who moved differently. They laughed loudly, dressed boldly, carried themselves like queens of a secret kingdom. They never seemed worried about money. They invited me out. "Just come once," they said. "Just relax." I refused. Then one evening I followed just to see. After that, saying yes became easier. It wasn't one giant mistake. It was tiny steps. One borrowed dress, one night out, one secret smile at a stranger, one hidden truth. Before I realized it, I could no longer recognize the girl who arrived with a single bag. I didn't come to lose myself. I came with pure intentions. But good intentions don't silence an empty stomach. Now people look at me like I am the villain of the story. They do not know how it began. So let me start from the beginning. Everything truly began the morning Nelly's mother pressed an old leather-bound scripture into her hands at the crowded Riverside motor park. "Remember who you are," her mother whispered, tears shining in her eyes. Nelly nodded so her mother would not cry harder. The bus station buzzed with voices. Vendors shouted, selling bottled water and roasted nuts. Smoke from grilled maize floated through the air. Naledi did not turn around as the bus pulled away, but her mother stood there long after it disappeared. Sometimes forgetting feels easier than remembering. Emerald Haven Women's College looked like something from a glossy magazine. Tall glass buildings, perfect lawns, students who dressed like influencers. Some spoke with foreign accents. Others carried sleek devices that cost more than Naledi's family earned in months. Naledi arrived with a simple cloth bag, 1 pair of shoes, and hope stitched tightly inside her chest. Her mother had borrowed money for tuition. The rest they entrusted to prayer. The first week bruised her confidence. Her skirts were longer than fashion allowed. Her rural accent curled around her English words. Some girls snickered when she greeted lecturers too formally. Others called her village queen behind her back. She ignored them. She sat in the front of every class, visited the library daily, took detailed notes, prayed before sleeping. Soon they started calling her Saint Naledi, not from admiration, but mockery. She wore no cosmetics. She covered her hair. She refused invitations that did not involve study halls or chapel services. Every Sunday her mother called, "Are you eating well?" "Yes, Mama," Naledi would answer, even if she had only swallowed plain porridge that day. Strength, her mother always said, was a woman's crown. But strength does not buy soap, or food, or textbooks. Money arrived occasionally inside folded envelopes, never enough. Naledi began borrowing small things. Then she stopped asking. Pride sealed her lips. That was when Maris noticed her. Maris did not speak loudly. She didn't need to. Her presence filled rooms. She wore crisp outfits, smelled of expensive perfume, and walked with unshaken confidence. People respected her. Some feared her. One afternoon, Naledi sat on her bunk bed with an empty stomach when Maris entered carrying a plate of seasoned rice and grilled fish. "Are you fasting?" she teased gently. "Or is hunger fighting you?" Naledi smiled weakly. Maris placed the plate and a cold drink beside her. "Eat, pray later if you want. But eat first." The first bite tasted like relief and shame. Maris never demanded payment. One week she brought sanitary pads. The next week she shared mobile data. Sometimes she slipped small cash into Naledi's notebook. She even covered photocopy fees once. Then came Maris's friends, Zara and Imani. They told stories about wealthy sponsors, glamorous parties, and lecturers who rewarded friendliness. They always had perfect nails and new clothes. At first, Nellie just listened. Then she laughed with them. Then she sat with them daily. Gossip turned to friendship. Friendship turned to invitations. "Just come out tonight," Zara coaxed softly. "It's nothing serious." Naledi refused. A week later, she followed them to a small campus celebration. The week after, she followed them beyond campus gates. She wore borrowed clothes, borrowed perfume, borrowed courage. The Velvet Orchid Lounge glowed with dim lights and expensive furniture. Older men sat in corners with heavy watches and tired eyes. Music hummed low. Girls danced. Some disappeared behind closed doors. Zara pointed discreetly to a girl in a crimson dress laughing with a businessman. "She paid her whole semester with one night," Zara murmured. Naledi did not dance. She watched, feeling like someone trapped inside a dream. On the ride back, Maris squeezed her shoulder. "Next time, smile more." Something inside Naledi shifted. Not suddenly, gradually. One day she borrowed lipstick. Another day she skipped chapel. Her jeans tightened. Her laughter grew louder. She told herself she was only surviving. By semester's end, Naledi was no longer the girl who arrived clutching scripture and hope. She prayed less, studied less, relied more on Maris than on herself. Then a message arrived from Professor Helena Voss, one of her lecturers. "See me in my office." Naledi went after class. The door shut behind her. The ticking clock sounded too loud. Professor Voss studied her for a long moment before smiling. "There is something remarkable about you," she said softly. "Something rare." Naledi left the office unsettled. The professor's voice echoed in her mind. Not what she said, but how she said it, as though she already knew the ending of the story. Soon the attention increased. Extra academic help, private lunches at a cafe near campus, compliments that lingered too long. One afternoon, Professor Voss invited her home. The house smelled of citrus and something sweet burning in a corner. They talked about ambition and stress. Then the room grew quiet. A hand rested on Naledi's knee. "You are special," the professor whispered. The touch did not go far, but it stayed long enough to change something. Naledi walked back to campus feeling detached from her own body. Meanwhile, secrets deepened within her friend group. Whispered conversations, closed doors, hidden laughter. One evening, while painting their nails, Zara asked casually, "Have you ever kissed a girl?" Naledi shrugged it off. Later that night, Maris kissed her cheek gently. Naledi did not pull away. Exams brought pressure. Money from home slowed. Her shoes began to tear. After a difficult test, Maris handed her a cigarette. "Just one," she said. "It helps." Naledi coughed the first time. They laughed, but she felt lighter, as if smoke carried her burdens away. One puff became a habit. Behind the hostel at night, they sat under dim lights, exhaling secrets into the dark. "This place respects survivors," Imani once said. "Not saints." Naledi understood. When Professor Voss called again, Naledi did not refuse. Soft music, low lighting, closer proximity. "You're safe here," the professor murmured. The moments were quiet, subtle, lingering. Naledi could not tell whether she was sinking or floating. She passed her exams, not brilliantly, but sufficiently. Outwardly, everything seemed normal. Inside, nothing was. She dressed sharper, smiled wider, prayed rarely. Her scripture remained under her pillow, unopened. Then one evening, her phone rang. Her mother had collapsed during service. High blood pressure. Naledi traveled home immediately. In the hospital bed, her mother looked smaller than ever, fragile. But when she saw Naledi, she smiled weakly. "My child," she whispered. Naledi held her hand and cried. Not from guilt, not from regret, but from exhaustion too deep for words. Before Naled returned to school, her mother asked softly, "Are you still reading your scripture?" Naledi lowered her eyes. She did not answer. Back on campus, something shifted violently. It began with a video. A short, blurry clip appeared in the student messaging group. Faces unclear, but voices unmistakable. Professor Voss laughing softly, whispering, a hand resting on a thigh. A kiss. No names were mentioned. None were needed. By morning, the clip was everywhere. Professor Voss was suspended. A disciplinary panel formed. Students were urged to report inappropriate staff relationships. More stories surfaced. Zara withdrew from school overnight. Amani left days later with her furious father. Maris stayed, but distant. The hostel felt like a courtroom. Eyes followed Naledi everywhere. She was not officially punished, but isolation can be harsher than suspension. One night Maris admitted quietly, "I liked the attention, the gifts, feeling chosen, but not this chaos." She cried for the first time. Weeks passed. Naledi returned to simple clothes, tied her hair plainly again, walked with her head lowered, not in shame, but in reflection. Her mother called. "I trust you," she said. "Remember who you are, not who rumors say you are." That night, Naledi finally opened the old scripture. Inside, her mother had written, "He sees you even when the world does not." Naledi stared at the words for a long time. She did not pray. Campus never truly forgets. It only pretends to move on. After the scandal faded from trending topics and group chats, Emerald Haven Women's College tried to polish its image. New posters about ethics appeared on notice boards. Counselors hosted quiet seminars. Chapel messages grew longer, but whispers still traveled faster than announcements. Naledi kept her head down. She stopped sitting with anyone, ate alone, walked alone, studied alone. The library became her hiding place. Silence felt safer than friendship. Maris grew distant, not cruel, just careful. Survival had taught everyone to protect themselves first. The Velvet Orchid Lounge closed for renovation. Rumor said investigators had visited. Rumor said names had been listed. Rumor said powerful men were involved. Naledi ignored the rumors. She deleted numbers, burned old messages, washed borrowed clothes and returned them quietly. She stopped smoking. The first week without it felt like ants crawling under her skin. The second week felt like fog lifting slowly from her mind. But consequences do not disappear just because habits do. One afternoon, an envelope slid under her hostel door. No sender. Inside, printed screenshots. Her messages with Professor Voss. A still image from the video. And one sentence typed in bold. "Meet me tonight at the old auditorium. Come alone." Her chest tightened. She almost tore it up. Almost. Instead, she locked the door, sat on the floor, and pressed her back against the bed frame. Her heart pounded loud enough to drown her thoughts. Who had it? Who wanted her there? Why now? Night came slowly. The campus lights flickered on one by one. Students moved in clusters toward dinner halls and study groups. Laughter echoed in the corridors. Naledi stepped outside alone. The old auditorium stood at the far end of campus, near the abandoned art building. Few students went there. Renovations had stalled years ago. The place carried dust and secrets. Each step toward it felt heavier than the last. Wind rustled dry leaves across the pavement. The sky hung low and moonless. She reached the entrance. The doors were slightly open. Inside, darkness swallowed the stage and seats. Only a single light glowed near the front row. A silhouette sat there, waiting. Naledi's throat went dry. She stepped forward. The wooden floor creaked under her sandals. The silhouette did not move. Another step. Closer. The figure finally stood. A familiar shape, but not who she expected. Not Maris. Not Zara. Not Imani. Not Professor Voss. The person stepped into the faint light and smiled. You really thought you were the only one who survived? Naledi's breath caught. Behind her, the auditorium doors slammed shut. The light flickered once, then went out. If you want to know what happened next, who was waiting in the dark, what they wanted, and whether Naledi escaped the circle for good, comment part 3 in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and comment so you don't miss the next chapter.